Hello and welcome to my tarot corner. So the keen-eyed can notice that I changed the placing of the corner, and that is not because of a good reason. Actually, yes, last night we should count our blessing because we were involved in a very difficult car accident. And luckily, everything that happened was that I injured my leg. Now, it's not broken, but I can hardly stand on it. And right now, I'm with a wheelchair. Fortunately, I have one. So, you need to count your blessing and then look at the bright side of things. And luckily, we all came out okay, and so did the people on the other car. But life is not dull, as you can imagine. So if we're not talking about dull, we need to talk about the royal family. And last week, King Charles had his birthday, and on his birthday, he asked Parliament to add 2 more Councillor of States, and not instead of Andrew and Harry, but on top of them. But it does take out the sting out of them being Councillor of States. I mean, they won't be chosen if the need comes, because there are plenty of people before them that can fill up that job. So people are saying that Harry is fuming, that he is frustrated, that this was part of the reason why he did not even wish his father happy birthday. Now, we don't know what happened behind closed doors, but we do know that the Sussexes did not even try to send some kind of a public happy birthday through Archwell, or to notice King Charles' birthday in any way. So I'm looking into that frustration, how much of it is something that Harry could change, and whether or not it is his way of putting out his frustration is just not wishing his father happy birthday, which is not something very smart in today's climate when nobody's even sure if they will be invited to the coronation, something that we know that Meghan wants. She already changed her IMDb page for that. So let's see what frustration is causing Harry to do. And I'm using the FAUNABELL tarot. It's a beautiful, beautiful animal tarot deck. One of many animal tarot decks that there are out there. And this one is a little bit complicated because, at least for the suit of wands, I had to write the number of each of the cards, because it's not something that you can say that is very upfront, and you need to count the bubble there and the bubbles there, and I always get mixed up with that. So I had to write the number. I don't like writing on decks, but that's how it is. Okay, so let's start with clearing the deck. And let's start asking, so is Harry frustrated because he was demoted in the Councillor of State list? Is he frustrated, and is that the reason why he did not wish his father happy birthday? Is he furious, as people say, that he probably won't be Councillor of State? Did he even want to become a Councillor of State? So how frustration causes Harry's action. Okay. So the first card is the card that shows us his frustration as it is right now. and this is the current frustration. So we're not looking at the past, we're not looking at all of the things that make him feel frustrated, only the current one. And what I'm getting here is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is a card that we're getting with Harry and Meghan quite a lot, and that is because they are after this mystery. This is a card of people who have deep emotional problems. And this is the stem of everything that he's feeling, everything that he wants. He takes everything as if it is intended to hurt him because he is emotionally unstable. So in his eyes, everything that is done to hurt him. This is all on purpose. And this is how he sees things. Now, the High Priestess is a card of mysteries. It's a card of secrets, and it is because it's in a bad position of frustrations. We need to look at the negative aspects of the card, and the negative aspect of the card is a person that is lacking clarity. So he doesn't see the picture as it is. He doesn't realize, for example, I had a very major car accident yesterday, and at least I'm happy that we are all okay. Nothing happened except for my leg. And my daughter that was with us in the car, she came out okay. And I'm trying to look at the positive sides. Harry is not there. Harry is completely unable to see reality as it is. He's lacking clarity, he's confused, and he's afraid. He's afraid of the unknown. And he's going towards the unknown because the unknown is becoming non-royal, is taking care of yourself. It's things that he hasn't done for a long time, and now he's been trying to do that, and he's not very successful. So he's afraid. He's afraid that this is one step before the king is going to take away the titles. He's afraid that his royal status is going to end, and then he will have to start relying on his own merit, on his own talents, and he doesn't have many. And right now he and his wife have been very exploitive of their royal status. They got contracts that none other would get just because they are royals. So this is a fear from what this step of the king symbolizes, the beginning of parting ways. The king did something very, very gently. He did not even take Harry out of the Counselor of State list. But he did a very gentle move to make sure that Harry will never be Counselor of State. And this puts Harry into a whirlwind of uncertainty, non-clarity, and confusion, and he's really, really afraid. He is full of fears. And this is going on top of his mental instability, so altogether we're not getting a great picture here. Okay, so that is the current frustration. So why is this so effective? Why did this very minor step of the king is so effective and affects Harry in such a way? And we're getting the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords, as you can see here, we have two parrots here, and the swords are the feathers. So that represents the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is a card that is telling Harry that he needs to start being active. If he wants to succeed, he needs to start showing his abilities, his talents. He needs to get off that fence and start doing things, something that he finds it very, very hard to execute. And this is why he's so bothered, because up until now, as long as he could claim a connection to the royal family, he could say, I'm royal and I can bring the royal aspect, and people would buy that. People bought it, people in Netflix, people in Spotify, even the people in BetterUp. I believe the real reason they took him was because he has that royal angle. But this card is telling him that's not enough. You need to start doing things. You need to start being active. You need to start showing that you deserve. And it only shows how afraid he is. He's afraid that none of the steps that he will take will end up in something positive. He's afraid of getting hurt. He's afraid of being isolated. He's not satisfied from the situation as it is. And he's afraid that all of those contracts will fly away out of the window, just like it looks here. They'll fly away out of the window, and he will stay with nothing, which is probably what will happen, because nothing really successful. Nothing is really successful. Not Meghan's podcast, and as far as I understand, the Netflix docuseries is boring. It has no interest at all. Nothing really, no substance, no content. They have nothing, and as time goes by, he realizes that more and more, and he's afraid from what might happen. And as long as he had that royal connection, he could find a way of surviving. But without the royal connection, he feels completely lost. So as much as he says that he wanted out of the royal family, that he never wanted to be royal, all of these things, it's all bollocks. He needs the royal family's connections. He needs that connection of being royal. So that is why this frustration is affecting him so much. Okay, so what can he do to let go of the negative feelings? What can he actually do to find a way to deal with life, even if he's not royal? And what I'm getting here is the Knight of Pentacles. All of the turtles are pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the hesitant knight. He's the one who is not going very quickly towards anything. He's the one who is very slow. And this card is telling Harry that he needs to check everything that he's doing. He shouldn't be rushing into things. He needs to check everything. He needs to get confirmation before he starts doing things. What he hasn't been doing up until now. He did things without thinking. He did things without looking at the possible results, and now he's paying the price. And this is a pentacle card because this is a card that speaks about money, as well as opportunities that he's missing because he's unable to make decisions. So this card is telling him you need to make a decision, you need to be very careful, and you need to think very closely about what you're doing, not wait for things to happen by themselves, but be very careful before you start throwing mud at your family, before you are completely severing the ties between yourself and the royal family, because you cannot stand it. Okay, next card is, will anything change if Harry is letting go of what controls him? And what controls him, we all know, which is Meghan. So is letting go of Meghan, is a separation, is something that will help Harry cope with the rest of his life. And I'm getting here the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles, that is the card of the Queen. And this is the card of the shopkeeper, the woman who is very able to be very financially settled. She knows how to handle finances. She knows how to make decisions. And this card is saying that, yeah, this is a yes card, because all court cards are yes cards. So if he does get over, or if he does get a separation from his wife, who is now controlling him, he will be able to become, in a way, the shopkeeper. He will be able to become financially independent. He will be able to become someone who is trustworthy. This is what the Queen of Pentacles is. So this card shows that getting rid of what controls him is going to be very beneficial. But whether or not he's going to do that, this is another question. So let's see, what is he going to do? So is he going to go for separation from his wife? And what I'm getting here is, wait a minute, let me count. I think it's the 10 of Swords. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of Swords. Oh God, this is a bad card. The 9 of Swords, that is a card of worry and justified worry. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to get rid of Meghan. This is actually a no card. This card is telling us that he won't be able to get rid of her so quickly. He needs her to leave. He needs her to be the one who decides that she's had enough. From his side, it will be almost impossible to be able to take the stand and to leave, because he's too much under her control. And as long as he's too much under her control, he's unable to become the shopkeeper, is unable to become financially independent, because he just changed dependency from the royal family to his wife. He's not actually independent in any way, not financially and not mentally. And he's a very scared, very immature, and very, very unstable emotionally person. And she's just sitting on that. She's not letting him go. And as long as she can get something out of him, she won't let him go. So when she will let him go, he will be completely drained. Okay, so was not telling King Charles a happy birthday his idea, or was it Meghan's idea? Let's see what we get. And we get here the Hermit. So first of all, this tells me that it wasn't Harry's idea. It was hers. The Hermit is a card of that I got yesterday as well. This is a card of being alone. This is a card of being isolated. This is a card of someone who is willing to be isolated if he gets something out of it. So this is how Prince Harry feels right now. He feels isolated from everyone, from his family, from his wife, from everyone. He is now completely lonely, completely alone. He doesn't know where to put himself. So this was not his idea, because he's unable to make such ideas, to make such suggestion. This card shows that he is actually willing to go and find how to better his situation. He's willing to do that. He's willing to take the time to meditate and to find a solution. But he's not allowed, because he's still controlled by her, and he's unable to become financially or any way independent. And as you can see, he's in this very, very stressful place of justified worry. This is a card of sickness. This is a card of someone who's unable to get out of bed. He is in a very bad position. So this was not his idea. This was her idea. Okay, so let's see if King Charles has any idea at all of what his son is going through, and is he willing to forgive Harry for that? And what I'm getting here is the Two of Pentacles. So this shows that King Charles is in a very bad spot because he is really conflicted. He needs to juggle the wish of the country on one side and his love to his son on the other side. But this is a fake conflict because he actually knows what he should do. And this card shows that it's probably not going to be a good result for Harry, because when the fake conflict arrives, usually when you know that your son expects you to do something for him, but you know that the people expect you to do something else, and you need to choose, and you will not choose the easy way. If you choose the easy way, you will not get the Three of Pentacles, which is the cooperation and the recognition. This is what he needs from the people. So he will not choose the easy way. He will not choose the way of putting Harry on top of everything else. He will realize that Harry is not someone who can be helped right now. And this card shows that it's not an easy decision for him, but he will not change his mind. He will not change the way that he decided to treat Harry and Meghan, because he realizes that Harry is in bad shape. So that is the tarot, and the oracle is the medicine card oracle. And I'm going to take two cards, one for Harry and one for Meghan, but let me take out those blank ones. Not Meghan, I'm sorry, Charles. So one for Harry and one for Charles. So let's see. I didn't put that in the giveaway, but I do have a spare one of cards, a deck of cards, of the medicine cards, but I don't have the book. Now, I know it is possible to get the book, so if any one of you wants it, just let me know. Write me an email, let me know. I will send you the cards without any draw or anything, unless many of you want. But if someone wants that and can get hold of the book, that is a very good possibility. Okay, so let's see. You can look for it on eBay. Many people put out just the book out for sale. Okay, so I'm starting with clearing the deck. A card to signify Prince Harry and a card to signify King Charles. Which card is Prince Harry? Which is King Charles? So the first card is going to be Harry, and what I'm getting here is the antelope. And the second one is King Charles, and I'm getting the buffalo. Okay, so let's put it here. And let's take the book and see what can we find about both of those. Wait a minute. Okay, so when you read about the antelope, and the antelope has a lot of good qualities, but what staggers me is that she is self-sacrificing. And in this book, she's being portrayed as someone who sacrificed herself for mankind's survival, for them to take her meat and to take her skin in order to survive. So this is a card that shows, first of all, a person that feels that he is self-sacrificing. And I believe that this fits Harry very well. It is also a signal that he's not listening, that he's not acting on the will of Great Spirit, that he is not is not listening to what he should do, and that makes him quarrelsome and crazy. So when you feel that you are sacrificing yourself, then you are angry at the world, and this is how he feels. So this is why we got the antelope for Prince Harry. Now, as I said, there are other very good meanings of the antelope, but you sometimes you need to pick and choose the ones that fit the bill, and this is what I found about the antelope. And regarding the buffalo, the white buffalo is the most sacred of all spirits or all animals, and he symbolizes the major source of substance. So he brings light, it brings the gift of life, and he is the one who hears the prayers. So when Indians, for example, smoke pipes, they are doing that to reach the buffalo. So this is a very good card for a king. And what it means is that this card tells King Charles that he is asked to use his energy in prayer, and he might also be called upon to be an instrument of someone else's answer to a prayer. And it shows that he's sacred, or has a sacred path, and he is a very strong person. He has a very strong medicine. So the sacrificial one, and the one who actually helps others by praying for them, by giving them strength without sacrificing himself. So these are the two people that we are talking about. And I think that this tells us a lot about why Prince Harry is acting the way he is, and why King Charles is acting the way he does. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.